In theater, Steve Tucker. Hi, Steve.
Hi Bart, how are you?
I'm good.
Thanks for having me back. It's
Yeah.
good to be here, especially under these conditions, these
Under these
circumstances.
conditions,
You know,
the circumstances
Yeah.
of the theater being under construction. But what an exciting week.
yeah. The marquee was completed on Monday. They came back just for about 3 hours more to wrap up any loose ends, and every light bulb has been replaced. Every circuit has been working. We went from a 400 amp service to like 4. He told me. So
Can you see it from space?
you can see it from the space station.
Wow.
So the International Space Station. So that's pretty cool. And at night, I mean, you can see the building in that photo there. The building was also power washed. So those pale greens and the yellows, and the reds show up in the work and the facade work. It's
Nice.
incredible.
Looks beautiful.
Yeah, it's just amazing. And each bulb, as you heard me tell Sue before we fired up the show here, that each bulb costs 17 cents per year to run. And we have about 3,000, almost 3,000 bulbs. They're 1.4 watts each. And they kick out, someone said, oh, hey, has it ever been like that? And I said, well, no. Because of the brightness of the LED bulb. So it's never been that bright. There was a time, I know that people worked really hard back in the 90s to get that marquee back up and running, and they did replace every bulb, and we replaced every bulb in about 2016 with the help of Consumers Energy. We went to all LED, but those LEDs are not as bright as the ones we have in there now. The marquee was completed by a company called Mr. Neon, Marc Chaloux, oui, Français. And Mark he's an expert. He's done many, many marquees throughout the state of Michigan. And
That marquee is not the original marquee.
that marquee is not the original, but it is designed like the original.
A replica.
Right. So I think in the 70s maybe they did another marquee that was a little different, and then they went back in the 90s and Johnson Sign created that marquee, and they did a great job too. In fact, Marc Chaloux said the electrician that installed this was a genius. So that guy that did that work in the 90s, he's a local fella for Johnson Sign. He really created a masterpiece, and
It's
everything went
spectacular.
from like a box full of stuff, circuitry and gadgets and chasers and everything down to 2 boxes about that big.
Cool. Looks great.
Yeah.
I did the math. $510 a year to run those.
The marquee.
Yeah.
Worth it already, because we've already added new members, right? People that have driven by and said, oh, I want to become a member, and now is really a good time to become a member, and people can become a member for $30 for a year, and they get a bunch of free stuff, and they get to come into all those movies. Well, you guys take advantage of that movie offering.
Let's look inside, see how the progress is on the renovation.
Right, they're taking it down right there. So they're taking all the painting is complete, all the plaster work is complete, and now those 4 guys right there, they're beasts. They just work and work and work. They took out a full truckload yesterday, and they've stacked up more to take out tomorrow, and it should be done probably by tomorrow evening. So there it is. Look at that.
We're just looking at the scaffolding.
Right, correct.
Now, what?
Now that's an interesting piece right there, because you can see the medallion in the middle there has all been repainted to make it almost look metallic, but it is not. It's plaster. Same thing with the exterior ring of that dome. That dome has been plated with a platinum paint.
Platinum?
Mm-hmm. And then it was toned down with another wash over the top of it and shellacked. So the painters were brilliant. They were experienced, smart, and amiable, and they gave us a lot of tips for doing stuff in the future. And also all of that paint that we paid for, we have a lot of...
For touch-ups?
Yes, for absolute touch-up. The opening part of the theater, when people walk into the theater now, first of all, they're going to be kind of awestruck by the amount of light underneath the marquee. we had 4 lights underneath the marquee, just standing underneath the marquee. We have 8 now, and they're about 3 times brighter each bulb than the old one.
You're gonna have to have a red carpet event when you reopen.
We are, and we had a board meeting last night, and we're discussing like, we want to have sort of an opening, a soft opening in June, because, I mean, there will be some things left undone. All of the lighting, there's, is still on back order. We've got a lot of lighting in, but we still have more to go. We're putting in 2 bars up in the top balcony for more lights. We're going to be able to light the theater up a little bit better too, so that people will be able to see the magnificent work that was done by the plasterers and the painters. And then carpet is forthcoming, and that's going to take a while to get made. So, we are ahead of schedule. We are under budget. We still have a few more things to get, and we're hoping that we can end up. We're about $196,000 short of our goal. So if we can space things out, we know that
What was your goal?
6.2 million. So the community's been incredible, and it's always the small donations that I ask for, because a lot of people like me were working. A lot of teachers put 30, 40 bucks, $100, whatever they could afford.
Well, let's talk about a big donation that
All
you
right.
received earlier this week.
We did. There they are. They're from American One Federal Credit Union.
No federal.
I'm sorry, American One Credit Union. That's it.
Yep.
And they donated $200,000 as a
$200,000.
as a marquee sponsor, and so the marquee is always going to have their name on it, and they will be recognized on the interior with a giant plaque. So there it is. I mean, it's lit during the day. It's lit all day during the day now, for a while, from 10 a.m. until 10 p.m. every day. So people can drive by and see what it's going to be, and it's an amazing thing. It's money well spent. And American One, I was telling Martha yesterday, Martha Firstenau, that American One has been a real leader as far as community generosity. They do a lot for the community, and I really appreciate them. They've done
I
a great
agree.
job.
You're absolutely right. They do. Amazing.
Yep. And, so as I was saying, June 1, we're going to be opened up, and people are going to be able to come by. We may make some popcorn and have just people walk in and, come in and take a look. And then we're going to have a big shebang, it looks like, in the fall, late fall, hopefully after the new carpeting is in. The new carpeting, by the way, is period correct, and it's going to be very interesting. But we have had such response from the people of Jackson. I'm absolutely welded every day that we are this close.
Keep the money rolling in, and they're almost there.
Almost there.
Keep up the great work, Steve. Thank you.
Thank you, Bart, for always being a major supporter of the Michigan Theater of Jackson.
It's a gem. Thank you. The Michigan Theater of Jackson Executive Director and a gem himself, Steve Tucker.
Woohoo!
That's it. We've